Olivia, could you please share the text of my presentation? I wrote in English, but I don't want to I don't want to read all because of the time constraint. I want to highlight some of the issues which we can discuss together. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I'm from now Seoul. I just arrived in Seoul from Rome. I spent about 10 days with the Sylvia, Anna Maria, with the IMCS members in Rome and Assisi for Catholic Peace Forum. And also there was, as you may know, the Jubilee event of Ecclesia Movements, Association and new communities, because Pax is one of the association of faithful. That's why we are invited, and we have an opportunity to meet Pope in public. Unfortunately, not private. We didn't have a chance to shake hands, talk individually, but nevertheless, we are all together with the other lay organizations. So the event in Rome and Assisi helped me a lot to formulate the questions and also statement for today's the webinar. And since I'm the Asian speakers, I want to offer some reflection from Asian perspective about the election of the Pope Leo XIV. So once again, this election, remind us that the papacy often takes unexpected turns. As you know, there are a lot of the news speculation about who is the next pope and so on and so on and so on. But this time, it went to again Latin America. Of course, he's an American citizen, but the least American is a more Peruvian. And so the election of Pope Leo XIV, he's a US citizen. And also, very interestingly, he's the first missionary in rural area in Peru in the global south. I think that's very important because of Pope Francis was a Jesuit. Of course, Jesuits also missionary the congregation, but he himself was not missionary. I think that's a very important point for many in Asia. He has a missionary spirit, and also former Superior General of Order of Saint Augustine. That's why he was able to many. So I think he's the only bishop so far in history who have visited many Asian countries and Africa before elected as a pope. That's very important. I discovered personally he visited Korea 5 times. 5 times. The first time the experience of visiting Asian countries, including Korea, because he was a superior general. So one of his duties was travel all over the world to understand global reality of the church. I think that's a very important point. So from Asian perspective, this makes him an ideal bridge builder at a time when the Catholic Church must balance tradition and transformation, unity and diversity, North and South. He's one of the ideal leaders today for Catholic Church in the world. And also, his leadership may well be a transitional pontificate, preparing the way for more inclusive and representative future, perhaps even a pope from Asia and Africa, hopefully, next pope. So for many in Asia, this is not simply a question of representation. It is called to bring new theological, pastoral, and spiritual insight into the universal church, especially through the triple dialogue with the poor, culture, and other religion. So this is uh, a framework for Catholic Church in Asia, FABC. They have been trying to promote dialogue as a means of mission, dialogue with the poor, culture, and religions in the context of profound civilizational transformation on the way in Asia. So this is overall the view and also expectation from many the Catholics, the Pope Leo XIV. Let me put some concrete questions. The changing identity for a changing world. Over the past century, the role of Catholic lay intellectuals have evolved from helping shape early Catholic social doctrine, as previous speaker mentioned, he took the name Leo XIV because he wanted to continue the legacy of Leo XIII, which opened the way for Catholic social teaching, Rerum Novarum, but as a faithful and critical and creative witness. So we, as a Catholic intellectual and professionals, we are bridge builder between church and the world, particularly intersection of theology, ethics, and public life and civil society. So with this, I'd like to suggest what can we do as a Catholic intellectual professors in the era of the Leo XIV. So we enter this era of Pope Leo XIV amidst what described as polycrisis, the convergence of systemic and interconnected emergencies, the crisis of inequality and climate, and geopolitical crisis, and democratic crisis, and technological crisis, the challenge from artificial intelligence. It's a multiple challenges. So what can we do together with our Leo 14? I think that is one of the topics we are discussing today. Of course, Pope Leo 14, he wants to continue the legacy of Pope Francis, but at the same time, such as the Synodal and also Peace Mission and the many others, but he wants to also bring his own perspective and also contribution, as I said, as a late missionary in the Global South and the Superior General of Augustine. So personally, I expect the Pope Leo XIV, this is my expectation from the new Pope. First, advance the cause of peace, justice, ecological conversion in a way that honors the legacy of Pope Leo XIII, pioneer of Catholic social teaching. So this is the first one. Second one, deepen the synodal church with a greater accountability and theological depth. As you know, from May this year till October 2028, the follow-up, the synodal process, the continuing, because we have the outcome document of the synod on synodality last year. So this is a 4-year process. And number 3, engage technology and culture with a pastoral imagination. And also lastly, empower lay intellectuals and professionals as a co-creator of just and compassionate future. I want to stress co-creators, Catholic intellectual professionals together with the theologians and clergy as a co-creators in this new challenge. So lastly, I'd like to propose one concrete project to the members ICMICA from how to update Rerum Novarum. As you know, Rerum Novarum was 1891, more than a century ago. And also many Catholic intellectuals, they play a very important role in forming Rerum Novarum and also the Catholic social teaching that time. So now big question for ICMICA is, can ICMICA members, Catholic lay intellectuals, rise again to challenges today, as we did 100 years ago with the Pope Leo XIII? So if our answer is yes, I want to propose ICMICA and Asia together in the name of Pax initiate biannual process to update and re-articulate Rerum Novarum. So with all our expertise and experience, collective reading the signs of times or discernment is very, very important. So my suggestion is we can form the committee among key members and different interdisciplinary. And hopefully we can work together this year, next year, 2027, we can publish Rerum Novarum 2027. That means reflecting what has been in history, at the same time identifying challenges and propose the response, collective response of the church to the challenges within the church and also in the world, as Pope XIII did, Leo XIII did in the name of Rerum Novarum. And also, if this can be also interdisciplinary and intercultural and also intergenerational discernment. That's why I want to propose this is a joint project with the IMSS. Then it become intergenerational dialogue, not only intercultural and interdisciplinary. So I think this is a unique role we can play as a collective, the intellectual, spiritual discernment of signs of times, which are very, very much connected. It's not only technological, geopolitical, but economic. It's all interconnected. That's why ICMICA, as a member of different disciplines, like Anna Maria, theologian, and literature, technology, and law, social science, and so on. I think this is a really high time for us to bring different disciplinaries together to do this collective discernment and also hopefully collective action together with the new generation, student and youth with the IMSS, YSS. So this is my suggestion. This can be an offer to the our service to Pope Leo XIV. So thank you for listening.